Good afternoon, everyone. We are live and we are recording, and you are in the right spot for today's webinar. Create digital content that connects. 5 tips for your bar or restaurant. My name is Jeffrey Brown, and I'm joined by William Foodie, Demand Generation Director from BuzzTime Business. Hey, William.
Thanks for having me on this webinar. I think that today's going to be great.
Awesome. Really excited about it. And BuzzTime Business, as well as William, is a first-time guest with us today. But before I turn it over to William to talk a little bit more about himself and what he does at BuzzTime Business, I want to talk to you a little about Main Street Hub and what we do. So I am part of our local outreach team here at Main Street Hub, doing webinars and also live events, educating local business owners across the US on how to use their social media sites, how to make the most of them to stay top of mind, get engaged with current and future audiences, and spread word of mouth. Now, Main Street Hub, if you don't know who we are, we've been around for a little over 8 years, and we are 100% do-it-for-you service, helping over 10,000 local businesses across the United States, managing social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and your favorite review sites like Yelp, TripAdvisor, and Google. Our services do it for you, which means we use tools developed by our world-class engineers and designed with the needs of small business owners in mind. So this is probably one of my favorite parts about what we do over here at Main Street Hub, is that we've written over 10 million posts. 10 million posts, that's a lot. So excited we get to share all of that data and all of those insights with you today. And now I'm going to hand it over to William to talk about BuzzTime Business and what he.
Um, BuzzTime has been around since 1983. We really started as a trivia company, and we have come into ourselves as a full-facet entertainment company. We mainly started in bars and restaurants, and we were at the forefront of connected gameplay. It was amazing when we started. You could play somebody in New Jersey when you were in California. That's really where Buzz Time came into shine. Now, Buzz Time is across the nation and even worldwide in some locations. We provide entertainment via tablets and connected TVs, and we also have digital signage as well in venues. Everybody from children to adults love playing Buzz Time systems, and it's really been a success for the bars and restaurants and other locations that have chose to put Buzz Time in. I'm going to pass it back to Jeffrey, and I think we are ready to get started.
Awesome. Thank you so much, William, and really excited about partnering with BuzzTime for this webinar today. So let's go ahead and jump right into our agenda. 5 tips for your bar or restaurant. So I'm going to be kicking everything off with, you want to make sure that your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages are engaging for your new customers. So how do you create that compelling content on your social media sites? I'm going to walk you through how to make sure your brand is consistent, also how to make sure you're varying your content, and having engaging conversations with your audience as well. Next, William's going to dive into how to make sure you're getting your audience's attention when they're in your bar or restaurant with digital signage. And then after that, I'm going to actually be tackling email marketing. I'm going to be giving you 4 steps to make sure you're enhancing your strategy with a strong subject line, call to action, and how to just really keep email marketing simple. And then next, we'll dive into just like how your social media sites and staff are a part of your brand, so is your website. It's an extension of your business and your brand. So William's going to tackle how to make sure you're extending your brand to your website to stay consistent online. And then I'm going to be taking everything home and wrapping it up with extending your customer service on social media. So we talked about, of course, how your content that connects. This is just another way to connect with current and also future customers online as well. Now, let us know that you're tuned in. Tweet us at Main Street Hub and at BuzzTime, and also use the hashtag content that connects. Let us know that you're tuned in, you're getting educated today. It's going to be a really great time. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to be kicking us off with how to create compelling content on your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page. So one of the first things you want to do to define your voice and brand is really make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. And that's actually creating a content calendar. So when you think of a calendar, you think of vacations, you think of trips, you think of making sure your schedule is a-okay for the restaurant or the bar. But one thing that business owners tend to forget is actually scheduling out content and coming up with a strong content plan. So one of the first steps that you want to do when creating your content plan is actually outlining your goals. So the first step to building an active and engaging social media strategy is outline some of your goals for your business. How do you want your online profiles to serve you this year? Are you hoping to find new customers in your area, build an engaged following, maybe boost your online reputation, or something else entirely? Your voice and your brand should always be a guiding light to frame the kind of posts that end up being scheduled. And you want to learn from the data on what works towards your goals. By defining your business's goals, you're going to be able to brainstorm purposeful content that's going to be meaningful to your business's success. So think about it this way when you're outlining your goals and you're creating that content strategy for your business. You don't want to simply post for just the sake of posting. Be intentional about the information you're showing to your new and potential customers online. So once you've outlined your goals, next, it's time to plan out your year. So before creating any specific post for your calendar, you'll want to take a zoomed out glance at the year as a whole. Take the time to mark the beginning of each season and make note of any holidays that your business will be closed for. And also pencil in any significant events in your business's community. So maybe that's the town Halloween fair. Maybe that's Memorial Day parade, Thanksgiving's Day parade. Making sure that you're also involved in your community. So making sure that when you already know those events are coming up for the year, be sure to put those in your calendar so you won't have to be rushed when Thanksgiving or holidays or anything like that come up. So like I said, check out your local events to see if anything aligns with the services your business provides. And once you've looked at your year as a whole and made note of any national events like seasons and holidays, now you're ready to start creating a month-to-month content strategy. So the beginning of each month is a great time to start scheduling out your next few weeks' content, and any new photos of your business, great customer reviews, or positive press that you collected over the past month make excellent additions to the events and seasonal content that you've already planned ahead for the year. So by keeping your content timely, varied, and centered around a seasonal theme, you'll keep your customers engaged and excited to see what you have planned next. And then finally, it's time to start actually creating your post. So you've outlined your goals, you've planned out your year, now you've started scheduling in that monthly content, but now it's actually time to start creating these posts that are going to be on your social media sites. So you can start by creating your specific post, but remember, each post that you're publishing to your business's page should have value for your audience. Is it entertaining? Is it educational? Are you giving them tips? Are you giving them great information about what's coming up for your business? So this is how you want to make sure that you're not only staying connected with your current audience, but also your future audience as well, because this is the first impression of your business that they're going to be seeing on social media. Now, one of the next things you want to do is actually define your voice and your brand. So you've made your content calendar. Now it's time to really figure out, how do I connect with my audience? How do I get engaged with them? How do I make sure they're seeing my posts and they're actually getting engaged with these posts as well? So you need to really think about who your audience is. If you want to help your audience, you need to get into their shoes and look at their problems, wants and needs from their eyes. So ask yourself the right questions to identify them. Are you targeting millennials? Are you looking for people that like craft cocktails over well drinks? Are you looking for people that like craft beer over domestic? So you definitely want to make sure that you're defining your brand and your voice by learning who your customers are, but more importantly, why they come to your business or your social media sites in the first place. So check out this example from Mr. B's Gastropub on Facebook. Cocktails equals instant mood boosters. Think about this. You go into a bar, you get a nice fancy cocktail, your mood is lifted instantly. I know mine is, especially when I go to one of my favorite bars here in Austin and get an old fashioned. They make the best old fashions in the city. So it's one of my favorite places to go, and it's instantly a mood booster for myself. So one of the next things you want to think about is the time of day that you're posting. Like I said earlier, don't post just for the sake of posting. So check out this example from South Kitchen and Bar. Tonight's special, parents shared amberjack, forbidden rice. They talk about the beans. And as you can see at the bottom, they posted this at 2:45 p.m. And yes, it's tonight's special, but at the same time, when you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're looking at where you can go for happy hour later that night with your friends, or setting up that dinner date that you forgot to schedule for your anniversary. So making sure that you're planning out these timely posts is really important, because this is when your audience is going to be looking online to decide whether they want to go eat at your restaurant or go have a cocktail at your bar or someone else down the street. So making sure you're posting at the right time of day while making sure you know your audience is going to be really helpful when you're trying to connect with your audience online. So vary your content. Varying your content is really important because you want to make sure it's not getting stale, and you actually can keep your audience's attention by keeping your posts at the top of the newsfeed. So in this Instagram example with Salt and Smoke St. Louis, they actually did a variety of posts. Starting on my left, they did an event post, a whole hog roast. Look at the colors, it pops off the page. And at the same time, it kind of keeps in line with their consistency and their brand with all their other posts. So the second post, the one that you see right in the middle, bad days are best forgotten over barbecue and bourbon. I love this post, especially because it highlights their unique bourbon selection. It might be one of the only bourbon bars or whiskey bars that they actually have in the city. So if you have something that unique in your bar or your restaurant, make sure that you show that off on social media. And last but not least, they're highlighting this food and it looks amazing. I'm already glad I ate lunch earlier, but look at this food. Look at those ribs. Look at that macaroni and cheese. If that doesn't make you hungry, I don't know what will. But this is a great post to actually show off the type of food that you serve. And even it shows off a great way to display a picture as well by taking it from above, really capturing your audience's attention by showing off the picture in a different angle as well. So another way that you can connect with your audience and vary your posts is by actually showing off your team. I know you have Employee of the Month or Employee of the Week, but why not give a little bit more information about your employees? Maybe their favorite drink, maybe their favorite food item on the menu, maybe where they even went to college or their favorite sport, what have you. You definitely want to make sure you're being more personable online, and that's introducing your audience to your team, whether that's your current audience and they remember their favorite server, or it's your future audience and they're getting to know your staff even before they walk into your business. So Clark Standard actually does an excellent job of introducing their staff by highlighting where they went to school, what they love most about the restaurant, and also their favorite drink and food menu item as well. Now, one of my favorite things about social media is actually getting to share visual content. You're probably thinking, Jeffrey, why don't you talk about Instagram sharing visual content? Because Facebook is an excellent way to also show visual content as well and keep your audience's attention. So when you post visual content, your audience is going to be more likely to retain this 6 times more than anything. So while it's easy to post your menu items and type that out or simply just put up text, it's also easy just to snap a photo as well of your delicious food or pose a question to your audience and ask them what their favorite item on the menu is. Sharing visual content is going to keep you at the top of the feed, but more importantly, it's going to show your audience that you're varying your content and that you want to get engaged with them as well. So this is just another great way to get involved with your audience and make them feel a part of your brand. Now, hashtags. Hashtags are one of my favorite things just because they can really make a post, and not only make a post, but make it seen by more of your audience, whether that's your current audience or your future audience. Adding the right hashtag and placing it perfectly really helps when you're posting on your Instagram, even your Twitter. So many users and businesses use hashtags on Instagram to actually increase their post reach and get their content in front of new users. So you can add up to 30 hashtags per post, which is a lot for one post. But when you go over 10, engagement starts to drop. So be careful of how many hashtags you're using. So use relevant hashtags in your caption. Those hashtags will get new eyes on your business's Instagram content and help you boost your engagement. So what are relevant hashtags anyways? Relevant hashtags are anything your followers would find interesting or anything you might help your post reach more people on the platform. That can be hashtags specific to your local area or hashtags that are used widely on the platform. So also a little tidbit of information, Instagram also added a new feature as of December 2017. Instagram users can not only follow other users, but they can actually follow specific hashtags as well. So this means more reach for your business if you're using these hashtags on Instagram consistently. That's the name of the game. You have to be consistent when using these hashtags. So in this example on Instagram, Mama's Boy Athens actually uses Pancake Tuesday. Now, if you look over to the left side where we actually looked up Pancake Tuesday, you can see Pancake Tuesday has been used over 24,000 times. But in the same instance, they're making this hashtag local to them. This is something they do every single Tuesday with different pancakes, whether that's chocolate chip cherry, banana nut foster, banana pancake, zucchini pancakes. They come up with all sorts, but they're being consistent by using this every single Tuesday. And you can do the same with your bar or restaurant as well, just by being consistent and using that hashtag, but more importantly, making it local to your business as well and to your local area for your audience, whether you have a college in town or you just have a wealth of local people that are in your community that actually love your business and come to it. You want to make sure you're using hashtags consistently online. Another favorite type of content that I love is user-generated content. User-generated content is great for a few reasons. One of the first things that it's great for is it's great for your brand and for your business. It's a great way to find something engaging to post on your feed as well. So the content your users post about your business provides a testimonial of their experience, and it's a great opportunity for you to reshare, just like in this example with Hillside Pharmacy. Just remember to thank and tag that user either by using a reposting app or just by crediting them with the caption on the post. So Burger Night, $15 grass-fed Texas burger, fries, and old fashioned. They also incorporated a special about the business as well. And a great thing is they gave that user credit as well. So Monica Party of Five got credit for actually taking this photo from Hillside Pharmacy. So by just sharing your customers' post not only shows that you have customers who love your business, but also that you're grateful that they stopped by and actually took time to share that post with you. So user-generated content is so beneficial. It's more likely to influence people's purchases than recommendations from friends, family, and colleagues. So always remember to actually be using user-generated content for your restaurant or bar. So now that we've learned, just a little bit of how to get engaged and connected with your audience, I'm going to pass it over to William in just a minute to explain to us how your business can stay connected with your audience when they come into your business through digital signage. William?
I love the play on words with that Hillside Pharmacy. They did a great job naming that restaurant. I cannot agree enough with some of the points that Jeffrey went over. Really planning out what you're posting and ensuring that you're following a persona or just looking at your audience who comes into your location and understand that you're really talking to them. So posting content around who is actually eating at your venue is a great way to get started. So I'm going to jump into digital signage. So digital signage is much simpler than you may think. Digital signage is really just bringing some digital content into your venue. So it's getting rid of maybe the table tents or the posters that you could use to print out and really going digital inside of your venue. Really making that content come to life on screens inside of your location. Some examples of digital signage, straightforward, could just be flat screen monitors. Looking on Amazon these days, you can get a 50-inch TV for just over $200. It's amazing how cheap these things are these days. Just adding an extra TV to your location in a prominent location like the host stand or by the bar enables you to show digital signage to all your customers as they walk into your venue. We'll go over some of the different things that you can promote on that digital signage that really will help you upsell or highlight different things in your location. You can even use your existing TVs. So you may think, I don't want digital signage to show all the time, and you really don't need to. So in between a sports game or something that you had on your TV, drawing a crowd in, you can have digital signage as well. I know there's even services that allow you to have digital signage right next to whatever you're displaying on the TV. You also can get tablet menus. So it's actually something that BuzzTime internally we do, and it's amazing some of the increase in revenue we've seen from people just providing upselling techniques and imagery of their food directly on the menu. It's amazing that people have that ability to be interactive with it, and it provides you an outlet to actually upsell and give them more options than maybe a server or waiter would be able to do. The other thing is dynamic billboards. Uh, this is pretty much a TV just facing the outside of your business. So people now are just putting a TV in their front window and providing content on that, really creating that billboard type of feel for their restaurant. So if you have a lot of foot traffic in front of your venue, it's a great option to show people your menu, your specials, even things like people that work at your location. Just like Jeffrey went over, you don't only have to promote your food items or your menu items, promote some of your employees, employee of the month, things like that will also engage clientele. So you might be asking yourself, well, printing, it's cheap, but it doesn't really cost me too much, and I know how to do it. I do the same thing all the time. But I promise you, having digital signage is so much faster and cheaper. So the thing with printing cost, you need somebody to design it, then you need to print it out, then you need to put it out wherever you are actually going to distribute it. And with digital signage, you distribute it, everything would be online. So you have your imagery made up. There's a lot of digital signage services that actually have templates already built out. So you just provide text and maybe an image or two, and voila, your asset for the digital signage is already created. That's saving you cost on time and effort right there. Um, it also creates that exciting atmosphere. So that energy, you think, how is that ROI? But that energy and that excitement that a digital signage can create, people looking, pointing, telling their friends at it, that actually will help you upsell certain products or just get the conversation going at that point. It's really driving those impulse buys. So, a study done by ScreenCloud, they said that 80% of adults noticed digital signage in the past month. And of those 80%, 70% of them made an unplanned purchase. Now, I can't say that the same if I went to a restaurant that every time a server told me what the special is, that I'm sold on it. But that's amazing that digital signage can tell you that extra drink, what the menu item is that you would want, can show you something different, and people are actually paying attention and purchasing it from that. It's a way that you can bring your menu to life. So highlighting those high value items that you have. It's really hard for somebody to explain what a meal looks like, but when you can show it to them, people are very visual learners sometimes, and they purchase those things because they can see what it is before they order it. You don't always get to do that when you're in a bar or a restaurant. So let's jump into some ideas of what you actually can show on the digital signage. So one of the first things you might not think of is maybe creating a customer of the month uh, profile. From this, you're thinking, well, why do I want to show a customer of the month? Well, maybe you name a food item after each customer of the month. They have their individual item. I know if that happened to me, I would be telling all of my friends about it. I'd be posting it on my own social media. Just like Jeffrey was talking about before, if I posted my content on my social media, we can also use that same content on the digital signage as well. So dragging some of those customer photos and pulling it into the digital signage. So you can just show it on the boards that you have around your restaurant or bar, and individuals will see, oh, wow, that burger looks amazing, or wow, that steak, it looks so good. I can't wait to order that. Or not even knowing that you have a special, something like the old fashioned burger that Jeffrey was talking about, great deal, something that you can show on your screen. Maybe it's even an Instagram post. A great idea, something that has worked for venues that we're in, is limited time offers. People get really excited when they know that they can only get it during a certain time. So running things for maybe 20 minutes, saying that for the next 20 minutes you can have $2 craft beers. I bet you're getting a bunch of people in your venue to order $2 craft beers if you can show something with maybe with a countdown timer on your digital signage that's going to have a special such as craft beers or a menu item, an appetizer, anything. So there was a study by Nielsen that showed 33% increase of featured items. That's amazing. So featuring an item and having these limited time offers is just going to show you that increase in that upsell for your customers. Surprise discounts, very similar to that short window, next hour, even just having a surprise happy hour. Your guests would jump all over it, and you can show that on your digital signage. Some more content ideas, things to think about in the future, just like we were talking about before, planning out events and planning out your posts. It's something that you have to do now. Think about people that are in your venue. How do you promote that? Maybe a poster outside a restroom or maybe a highlight on the menu, but you also can provide something direct that's eye-catching on digital signage. So you can have discounts for your events coming up in a month or even 2 weeks. You can drive email signups, which is so easy to do on digital signage. You can just throw up a dessert and tell people, hey, with when you enter your email address in, you will get a free dessert today. People would jump all over that. I know personally when I go out to eat, I always go on Yelp and see if there's a check-in offer. Simple offers like that drive people to go to your venue and order things from you. It also gives you their information, which allows you to market to them time and time and time again to drive them back into your venue. As I was talking about before, those menu items, showing them on your screens is a win-win for everybody. The customer knows exactly what they're getting, and you get to highlight your best menu item. So there was a study by Iowa State University that showing menu items on digital screens resulted in a 90% increase of that item. That's amazing. 90% increase just by showing people an item on a screen. I would love to see my meal before I ate it. As I said, I'm a Yelp user through and through, and the pictures are my best friend. If I go somewhere out to eat and I know I want something, I'm looking at 20 to 30 pictures of that item before I actually order it. So you might be asking, well, hey, the TV costs money, maybe the software costs money for the digital signage. What are some ways that I can see that return? We talked about upsells and certain menu items, which you'll see that increase on, but you can also sell ad space. Talking to local businesses, local events, they all want to advertise. If they can advertise directly in your venue, that's amazing. And you can show their ads directly on the digital signage. Yeah, let that be a TV or your digital menus, you're able to sell that ad space to local businesses or events. That was it for the digital signage. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm going to pass it back to Jeffrey for the next section.
Thanks, William. And I love when you were talking about with the digital signage about the surprise happy hour. That's happened to me before, where I've been in a bar or it was a bar in a restaurant, and they did a surprise happy hour for 1 hour, where if you bought a certain beer, you got nachos for free. So of course I ran up and got that beer so I could get those nachos. But things like that, encouraging and connecting with those customers, even while they're in your business, is a really great way to also, like you said, do promotions, share user-generated content, and just make sure that you're out there in front of more customers while they're actually in your store. So email marketing is a great way to build relationships with your fans and get new customers engaged with your brand and your business. So by keeping in touch, you're keeping your business top of mind for them when your customers are ready to make a purchasing decision. In fact, 80% say that email marketing drives customer acquisition and retention. So one of the first things that you could be doing to make sure that you're enhancing your email marketing strategy is write an attention grabbing subject line. So grab your subscribers' attention quickly to make sure they open your email and click through to what you're offering. Your subject line should be accurate, specific, and engaging, but most importantly, brief and to the point. So in this example with Eastside Tavern, want some free cheese? Yes, I want some free cheese. How do I do this? Where do I need to go? What do I need to sign up for? Those are all the questions that are running through my head as soon as I got this email. So you definitely want to make sure that your subject line is attention grabbing and it's going to pop out at your audience as well. So it's important to avoid sale tactics and head straight for the spam folder, like overusing the word free, too many capital letters, and excessive exclamation points. Try using conversational language and hook your audience the first moment they see your email in their inbox. And also, if you're struggling to figure out, well, where can I find some great subject lines? Take a look at the promotional emails that you get from different companies and see what gets you to open them. And it's also important that the content of your email matches what you're talking about in your subject line. So you'll want to create a great customer experience with every email rather than clickbait to ensure your subscribers don't want to hit the unsubscribe button. That's the last thing you want to happen is for your audience to unsubscribe for your email. They're going to be missing out on events, promotions, maybe great tips about your restaurant or bar. Really make sure that when you're putting together an email for your audience, it's concise and it's simple for them. So next, you're going to want to send promotions, coupons, and specials. So when you're sending an email to your customers, keep in mind that discounts are often the main reason why people decide to subscribe to newsletters. You'll want to send them engaging content and links back to your social media channels and website, but be sure to work in incentives for your readers to make a purchase or to stop by for a visit. Like in this example with the Eastside Tavern, we saw their great subject line, want some free cheese, but now we actually see what it's here for. So want some free cheese. We promised when you sign up for this email that you would get free stuff. Who does not love free stuff? I love free things. So bring this email in this week and get our queso for free with purchase of entree. So they put those limitations in there. They make sure that you know what's going on. Good anytime between 7:05 and 7:08, one per table. And trust me, I went and got my free cheese. I definitely did. And it's a great deal. You can't pass that up. So just make sure that you're not oversaturating your consumers' inboxes with emails. You don't want to make them too salesy. So monitor your subscribers and check who's opting out every week and maybe see if you need to change something up. Maybe it needs to be educational or informational, or maybe you just need to send out an email every other 2 weeks or maybe once a month. So that's why it's always important to test and track and always change things up. Now, also don't forget to incorporate photos and graphics. Your consumers are much more likely to read your email or click on a link within the email when there's a photo or graphic accompanying the text. So if you're promoting a new product or maybe a service, insert an image of that product or service to keep your readers' attention. So in this example with this restaurant, they specifically targeted college students at Oglethorpe University, Student Appreciation Day. So also be mindful of the holidays, like we were talking about your content calendar earlier. Be mindful of national holidays like Student Appreciation Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day. The list goes on and on. But make sure that you really do know the holidays, even to your local community that are coming up, and making sure that you can tailor those emails to your audience as well. So making sure that you're doing that. And this leads me to my final point with email marketing is to continue to build a consistent brand presence online, make sure that you're using both your email campaigns and social media channels together to promote your events and specials and bring in new business. So making them work together can get new eyes on your business. So email subscribers are 3 times more likely to share your content via social media than visitors from other sources. So in your email campaigns, incorporate social posts and use links that direct your readers to your social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And on social media, create posts with links to subscribe to your email list. Just like Rosita's Mexican restaurant did, your worries will subside when you sign up for our emails. FOMO, fear of missing out, which is really big now, so you definitely want to make sure none of your customers, current and future customers, are missing out on anything, events, specials, happy hours. You definitely want to make sure your audience knows everything that's going on in your business through your email marketing strategy. And you can even pin them to the top of your feed as well, like a post like this, to make sure it's easy for new customers to subscribe. So now I'm going to pass it back over to William to talk to us about how to extend your brand through your company website. William?
Thanks, Jeffrey. And I could not agree more about using your social media presence and your email presence together. It's amazing to see the response through email. People that want to receive your email will promote your content more than on social media. So great advice, Jeffrey. Jumping to the website, I feel your website is going to be brought up most of the time before people actually come into your establishment. There was a study by National Restaurant Association that 9 in 10 people will bring up your website before coming to your location. That's insane to me. 9 out of 10 people are going to bring up your website before coming into your location. I know I personally go to most of the restaurants' websites before I go out to eat, and what I'm using is my cell phone. So to jump into it, it's important to have a mobile friendly website. So really what mobile friendly is you can have a responsive website that it just adjusts when you're on your phone, or you can even have a separate website that's different from mobile to desktop. Uh, Now most people have responsive websites, and it's fairly easy to create a mobile website or create a website in general. You might be thinking, I don't know how to code or do graphics, or I don't know the first thing about making a website. If you go on to these three services, I guarantee you will find one that fits everything that you need and will be easy to use. So those three services are WordPress, Wix, and Squarespace. Some of them will have a small fee, but the fees are very minimal on those services. And there are some just drag and drop services where you just type something in and drop it where you need. It is simple to use, I promise you. And a lot of them have templates that are already pre-built. So your website can look beautiful right out of the box. And all you do is drop in your colors and your logo and just really make it feel like your business. So jumping into that, you really want to make sure that the website mirrors your host stand experience. So what I mean by that is when I walk into your location, what do I feel? Do you have a rock and roll theme? Do you have an elegant fine dining experience? Do you have a lively sports bar? Make sure when I go on to your website, I get that warm welcome that I feel right when I walk into your location. It's amazing how many times I go on somebody's website and I go to the location. I'm like, God, this isn't the same place. I think it's the first thing that can tell your future customers, hey, I want to be there. Second thing is make sure that you have your name and your logo at the forefront of your website, making sure that people know exactly who you are. It really gives that whole feel of the website too. Your logos, colors, and the fonts really can play into a theme throughout your entire website, giving those users that feel that they are going to have inside of your location. Now, I know this seems like being picky here, but sticky menus, I know it's a little detailed, but have you ever been on a website on your phone and scrolled all the way to the bottom and you wanted to go to the next page? And you have to scroll all the way to the top to find the next link? That's really where a sticky menu comes into play. On your mobile phone, make it easier for your users to navigate. Make sure that they can go to the next page. And that really goes into what the big four, the pieces of key information that they're going to want to find. They're going to want to find your phone number, your hours, your address, and your menu. Those are going to be the most important things that a user is going to want to find on your website. Just think, if you're going to go out to eat, you want to know what they have to eat, where they are, and if they're open. And if I can call to make a reservation if I'm pre-planning anything. So having those pieces of information at the forefront of your website will ensure that people get what they're looking for. Now let's jump into some of the things that you can actually provide on your website that might be a little bit more advanced or just require a little bit more effort on your end, but will show ROI and uplift by doing them. So branded content ideas. And you might think, hey, well, some of this stuff, you just said, all I need is my menu and my address. People can call me. That's great. But what if we want more people to go onto the site, or there's different things that we want them to go onto the site for? So a blog really can be an outlet where you can provide different information to your users to make them want to come back to your website, or even to provide content that you can post on your social media channels or provide in your emails, keeping those people engaged with your brand. So you don't always have to post food or post an event. Maybe you want to post something like kitchen hacks. That's something easy. You have your chef give you an idea. Maybe even your chef writes the idea, and they can give a weekly kitchen hack or a monthly kitchen hack that you can promote to your customers, and that keeps in touch with your brand. It may not bring them back in, but it's just keeping your brand at the top of their mind. Thing else you can promote on a blog is your events. So as we were talking about, you can promote them through email or social media, your digital signage. You should have those on your website too. Those should be things that you're promoting and you're telling people about when they come and visit your website. Imagine 9 out of 10 people that went on your website didn't know you had an event. It's something easy to promote on your website to ensure that you're getting the most out of that event. Some other things you can post lists like 7 things you didn't know about cooking fish, 7 things you didn't know about table decorations, anything that it involves your restaurant that you have an expertise in. Make sure that you can tell your clients about, and they'll be engaged and they'll want to read that because they know you're a professional. You can transfer those hashtags that you use from your social media and really do posts just all about the posts that you've seen about your website. And you can also do some secrets. Some of your recipe secrets, maybe you retired an item off your menu, and maybe you have a blog post. Hey, this was a secret to us, but we wanna let you know how to make it at home because it's not going to be on our menu anymore. So there's so many different content ideas, and let your mind run wild when you're thinking about those things. But in the end, really think about who you're posting for. So just like Jeffrey started off at the beginning, plan your content out and really think about the persona of who you're posting to as well. Another thing is landing pages. So a landing page differs from your website is that it sort of lives off of your website, and you have to really provide a link to someone in order for them to get there. They can't just click over to a landing page from your website. Maybe it was a social media post or an email, or even you paid to have this link promoted somewhere. So a landing page could be great for your events or promotions, and you can actually track these landing pages too. So you can create tracking links using services like Bitly, or even Google has their own link tracking service. And you can plug your URL into that link tracking service. It'll give you a short URL, and you use that URL on your social media, or you can use that URL on your emails. And then you can see how many people are clicking through to that page from those locations. It's a great way to understand which method that you're using is working best. Does Facebook work good for me? Does Instagram work good for me? Do my emails work good for me? And if you are tracking all of those locations, you can understand where you could be spending more time or where you should be promoting your events or menu items, specials, anything that we went over today for promotional materials. You can figure out what works best for you there. Some more ideas for some branded content ideas. You can have things like online coupons. So there was a study by Retail Me Not that 9 out of 10 people have used online coupons in the last 3 months. And of those people, surprisingly, they came from affluent backgrounds or neighborhoods, things like that, that people who actually spent more money were more willing to use coupons. You might think in the other way. I know I've worked with businesses in the past that were like, I don't want to use a coupon because that only brings in people who want free food or this. But there have been studies that if you provide coupons, that people that were willing to spend money will actually come in because they're feeling like they're getting something free or they're getting that deal really attracts them to come in the first place. Something else you can have on your website is an event calendar. So just like Jeffrey was talking about in the beginning, planning out everything is great, but imagine just planning out everything and having the ability to just have people come directly to your website and see all the events you're planning to run and all of the different promotions that you might want to show about of that month. And you don't even have to go for a full year, but maybe you just plan out a month in advance and you can show people the events and promotions that they can come back into your location and take advantage of. I know some of the sites that I go to, I always check the event calendar just to see if there's a day that I really would rather go there than to go somewhere else. And having that can really push me into going into a venue. You can even have an e-commerce option where people can purchase tickets to the event right on your site. Another main thing is email capturing. So I can't tell you how important capturing people's emails are. As Jeffrey went over, how willing people are when they receive emails to share your content with friends, neighbors, and then share it again on social media. You need to capture those emails in some way. And having a way on your website to capture those emails is a perfect place to get started. And there's so many plugins or little features that some of those services have we talked about, like WordPress, Wix, or Squarespace, that make it so easy to capture those emails. So there's plugins like Pop It In or Sumo Me that automate that process for you. And then you can even plug those emails into other services like using MailChimp, for instance, to help send those emails out. I hope you guys learned a little bit about websites and everything. And I think I'm going to give it back to Jeffrey so we can wrap it up.
Thanks, William. And I really love the point that you made a little bit earlier about when you were talking about the phone number, hour, address, and menu. When people are looking for your bar or restaurant, having those four important things, even on your review sites like Yelp, Google, and TripAdvisor, is really important. So it's an extension of your business, and that's why you definitely want to make sure that you're extending your customer service on these three sites. So one of the best ways to get engaged with your audience, but more importantly, to get feedback about your business and what you could be doing better, is encouraging feedback online from your audience. Just like Bill's Fish House did, a great dining experience deserves an encore, and they simply leave their Yelp link. Since you can't write out ask for reviews or ask for customer feedback, this is a great way to encourage customer feedback from your audience. So like Bill's Fish House did, like I said, just did a simple caption, did a great photo of a server getting interactive with somebody that's visiting the restaurant, and it got 123 likes. That's really great. So you definitely want to make sure you're encouraging that feedback and letting your audience know that you're on Yelp, Google, and TripAdvisor. Now, you definitely want to respond to all of your reviews, and you want to either do that publicly or privately. But when you do that publicly, you're actually showing future customers the great things they can expect from your business, even if it's a negative review or a one-star review. So let's look at this example from Google that Jair had left this restaurant. He said, horrible service, horrible food. Since they renovated their space, the menu is not the same. Be aware, online menus isn't what they have there. So the manager responded back and he said, Jair, while I'm glad you came by, I'm sorry to hear you were disappointed in your experience. We can assure you that we take customer service very seriously and have spent a lot of time perfecting our new recipes. We're sorry you were unimpressed, and we hope to get the chance to make a better impression in the future. George, General Manager. So a few things that George, the General Manager, does when responding back to Jair in this review is, number one, he makes it personable for Jair. He says his first name is the very first word that's written on the review response. And then, more importantly, he identifies the pain point. He said, I'm sorry to hear you were disappointed in your experience. overall, from reading Hire's review, you can tell he didn't have the greatest experience at the restaurant. So he definitely wants to make sure that he knows that Hire knows what George is talking about. So you definitely want to make sure that's going on. And then more importantly, taking ownership as well. You definitely want to do that, especially since this is your restaurant and your review sites. And this is an extension of your business. So you definitely want to show future and current customers that you do take customer feedback very seriously. And last but not least, defend and apologize for what's going on. Sometimes you have to defend your business. Sometimes, like the old saying goes, the customer's always right. And that is very true. You definitely want to reflect that online. But sometimes you have to defend your business in certain cases, and you also have to apologize. And more importantly, ask if there's anything that you can do better to make it great for the next visit. Or we look forward to seeing you again in the future. So keeping that open line of communication as well. Now, not all reviews are going to be bad. You're going to get some great positive ones. So just like in this TripAdvisor review, great oyster selection. We walked from downtown Toronto to see the distillery district, hoping to hit up Mill Street Brewery. When we were told we have to wait, we went next door to the Pure Spirits and got a great seat outdoors without waiting. They were still offering the lunch menu, and it was pretty limited, but there was a dozen different types of oysters, so I tried 3 of them. Lucky Limes, Academia Golds, and prices ranging from $2 to $4 per oyster. My wife got the Nicoy salad as well. So I'll let her salad arrive well before my oysters did, and it was also quite small for the price. My oysters were all excellent, although you could tell they were shucked by someone inexperienced because none had any of the time and had not shucked them well before. So overall, the place was nice and service was okay, but there are probably better options in the neighborhood. So this got 3 stars. They didn't love it, but they didn't hate it. So the owner follows up with Tim, being personable again, saying his name the very first time that he speaks to this person online. I appreciate you stopping by in for some oysters. I'll be sure to follow up with the shucking team regarding your feedback. So once again, the owner is saying, hey, we hear you. We want you to know that we are going to give this feedback back to our team. I'm glad to hear you and your wife had a nice day in the sun. We look forward to getting the chance to make your next visit an even better one. So as you can see, they're keeping that open line of communication, they're identifying the pain point, and they're apologizing as well for what happened. So whenever you're responding to reviews, you definitely want to make sure that's going on to show great customer service online, and just to extend that customer service, connect with those customers as well. So of course, you're going to get some positive reviews as well, and some might be short, some might be very long. But in this review, Melissa goes on to talk about how they went to a movie with her husband. Everything was great. The food was good. The seafood, the ramen, it was their first time, and they had a special for $5.99. So some great things were being said about the food and the experience. So let's see what the owner said. He said, thanks for stopping by after the movie, Melissa. Again, being personable. We're hoping to have another chance to serve you soon. There's still plenty to check off on the menu, so try to see you around next time. So really just make sure that they're being warm and welcome and really making sure they're inviting them back for another visit again. Now, you don't just want those reviews to sit there and just gain dust, just like antiques in your attic. You definitely want to make sure you're sharing those positive reviews on your social media sites, just like in Bill's Fish House, what they did. Who agrees with Justin? And I'm sure a lot of people agree with Justin. So let's see what Justin said. He said, very popular place to eat fried catfish, small town friendly service that should be mimicked everywhere. Definitely worth the drive. Justin S. via Google. It's just as simple as that, taking a review from Google or Yelp, popping that onto your social media sites, and actually sharing that with your audience. Creates buzz to your future customers as well as your current ones. And as you can see, Edward down there, yes, so good, went there too, was there last week. So as you can see, everyone loves the food and it's a great experience as well. So I know we covered a lot of great information today. I know it was all very broad as well. But if you do want a more specific look at your social media sites, don't hesitate. Feel free to fill out this form. On behalf of Main Street Hub, we're offering everyone a free assessment that attended today. So fill that out and we can definitely show your social media sites and where you're doing great and also some areas where you could be doing more as well. So just to recap, we started everything off with how to post compelling content on your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages, making sure everything's consistent, you're knowing your brand, you're knowing your audience, and you're getting connected with them as well while you're online. And next, William actually took us inside the restaurant and the bar and talk to us about how we can actually attract customers with in-venue digital signage. So is that a surprise happy hour, which we all love? Is that just events that are coming up? Even sharing user-generated content and digital signage is really important as well. And then next, how to capture your audience, your customers' attention through an email marketing strategy. Remember, those 4 tips are going to make sure that you have a strong email marketing strategy. And you definitely want to make sure that when you are sending emails, that they are concise, they have a great subject line, and it's going to grab your audience's attention. And also don't forget to incorporate photos and graphics to make sure that that email pops out and your audience has something to look at. And also integrate your email and your social media marketing strategies together. So just like Rosita's Mexican restaurant did, they put their link to subscribe to their email on their social media site. And next, William talked to us about how to extend our brand through our website. Remember, you want to have your name, address, your phone, your menu, all the really important information on here. You definitely want to make sure that that's on your website as well. They're going to be looking at that website and they want to decide if they want to go eat with you or someone else. But more importantly, make it mobile friendly. If you can't access that on your phone, then you're losing out on customers right then and there. And then last but not least, extending your customer service on Facebook, Google, and Yelp, making sure that you're not just stopping at the door or when they pay their check or their tab. You're getting engaged with them. You're responding to their reviews. You're encouraging customer feedback. And you're also not letting those reviews go to waste either. You're actually cross-promoting those reviews and showcasing it to future customers and reminding current customers why they come to your business. So don't forget to tweet us at Main Street Hub and at BuzzTime. We have about 3 minutes left for Q&A, so start dumping those questions into the chat box. William and I are ready to tackle those questions for you today. And I know we all have questions that we can never think of. So if you do have some questions you can't remember them, please feel free to email us as well. William's and my email is down here at the bottom. But one question I did have, and William, this is specifically for you, is how is a landing page different from the rest of your website? I don't know if you could go over that a little bit.
So I tried to touch on that a little bit during the presentation, but a landing page is really designed to act on its own. So think about a flyer that you might hand out for an event. That is exactly what a landing page is. So it's an online digital flyer and it can talk about a singular topic. And you really don't want to drive that person back to your website or back somewhere else. It wouldn't have any links on it to go anywhere. Maybe it had a form or something you wanted people to purchase, such as a ticket for an event or a form to apply for a pre-event pass. Something that you have very focused and you know what the end goal is. So that's how a landing page differs from your website.
Awesome. And I guess another question is, how would you create images for digital signage? Like you said, you have the TV or the tablet, but how do you really come up with graphics to make sure that you're popping off and people are actually noticing your digital signage when they're having their drink or they're with their family having food?
Oh yeah, I get this question all the time because graphic arts is pretty difficult. And I know when I was getting started, I was looking for so many different places to figure out how to make these graphics. But there's so many services out there these days. You don't have to be a Photoshop master. Something that I like to use is a service called Canva. It's CANVA, and they make it so easy by providing templates. And all you do is just drag and drop your images into the platform, and they come out looking amazing. And you can also get images too. Say if you didn't have a background image or something that you would like to use, there's services such as Pexels or even Shutterstock where you can purchase photos from that you can use on that digital signage as well. And a lot of these digital signage platforms have software that help you with templates already. Thanks, Jeffrey.
No problem at all. So we're right at 2 o'clock. That's all the time we do have today for questions. Like I said, if you do have any questions, please email them to us. we would really like to answer those. And also, don't forget to fill out the form if you would like a deeper look into your social media sites. William, thank you so much for being here. Really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for BuzzTime for being here and giving this great content out to local business owners. Really appreciate it.
Thank you as well. Had a great time.
Thanks everyone for attending, and I hope you got something out of our 5 tips today. Enjoy what you do, and everyone have a great Wednesday.